Hey y'all, really quickly, spread the word, send this everyone you know. To our 6 faithful, old faithful subscribers. Make your family subscribe. Just turn off notifications. We're trying to change platforms to YouTube Live. We want to do it live because we're a little bit over the fakeness of AI. And we want you guys to see us fail in real time and, just face plant like we normally do. It's cool. We have a barrier to entry though, and that is 50 subscribers on our YouTube channel. We're at 35. Send, share, just click. Link will be in show notes. Thank you kindly. Hi, Liz.
Hi, Rachel.
What's up?
How's your day?
It's not too bad. I have nothing to complain about. I did not sleep, but that's just par and parcel for the fucking course once you turn 40, apparently. Right?
I don't know.
Welcome to our new reality, folks, where you work as a zombie after 40. So if you got any shit to get it done before you turn 40. After you turn 40, your shit just
Forget about it.
Yeah, I can go do everything, but I am constantly in zombie mode. So,
Yeah,
yep.
I feel that.
And it doesn't matter what I do, but yep, that's how it is. How was your week, klutzy face?
Oh, it sucked.
Yeah.
Well, it sucked. I had a great fall. A great trip. A great trip. And so anyway, I'm doing okay, but I'm still sore as hell from falling and landing, I don't know, on the fence, on the ground. hit multiple things. So anyway, but I'm better every day, not quite so sore. So I guess that's a good thing. But ooh, I'm reminded of how hard it is on your body when you fall. The older you get. I swear to God, I'm like, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello, ground.
spinning
I'm
in the
Liz.
cold. Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Well, you were probably trying to go quicker because it was
Yes, it was
cold,
so
and
freaking
then
cold and I was freezing my ass off. And
so
I was
yeah,
like, okay,
you're in Oklahoma. The temperatures have been how far below?
yeah, like I don't know. It's been below zero, but currently it's not below zero. It's like 35. So that's actually quite warm for right now.
Balmy.
Balmy. Yeah, but it's been below zero and like at freezing temperatures, and we had freezing rain Sunday night, and so everything froze, and uh that was pretty, like, the roads were bad. I didn't even go out yesterday, and
Yeah.
I felt like I accomplished nothing, and it was a really shitty day because I got nothing done. So anyway, um but that's how I feel if I don't go to work or go do something. I just feel like it was a wasted day, even
You
though
can
I
read,
tried
there's
to
a lot of
relax.
things. There's a lot of hobbies that people over 40 do that don't involve falling, which are, like reading, writing,
Oh, but mom's here, so
YouTube, movies are a big
yeah.
one I hear.
I know
Television
I
is
can't sit and watch a
apparently
full movie.
apparently television's really popular among people over 40. I don't know. I wouldn't know, but I've heard. Just saying, there are
I
other
watch
hobbies.
I watch a lot of TV, but I don't actually watch.
It's called listening.
I listen, yes, to a lot of TV. It's background noise. So yeah. Anyway, but today I got up pretty early and I went to work for a couple hours and got some stuff done and then came back home because mom's still here. She leaves tomorrow, so
Yes, our mother is visiting you.
I'm supposed to be off until Well, I'm supposed to be off on Tuesdays generally, but since I didn't work yesterday, I was like, I should go to work this morning and get some stuff done, which I did. There was nobody there, so it was kind of nice, but
Yep.
didn't get as much as I wanted to, and it's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine. We're all fine.
We're all fine.
We really don't have much to complain about except for we're the richest country in the world and we don't have medical benefits or childcare or retirement, any safety health net. Yeah, we're fine. Everything's fine. This is literally, I'm like, how much more bullshit can the politics take over before every goddamn American, like probably 65% or more, are just going to overthrow the government in terms of like, we don't have basic fucking human rights here. Like, and I get it.
Okay, you want to
like,
hear what I read this week?
I do.
So there's this new thing. So if you're female and you want to get an IUD, your insurance will not cover an anesthetic.
I've never had an anesthetic with an IUD.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so many women find it extremely painful to get an IUD.
It is extremely painful.
Yeah,
it's
and I've never had one, so I don't know, but
I've had 4, all of which well, all but 1, 3 of them self-rejected, which is also very fucking painful. So
yes,
it's similar to childbirth, and because it's basically the same pathway.
Well, and so now they've come up with an IUD for men. Guess what? Men are allowed to get anesthetic.
Of course.
It's covered.
Well, our pain is not real.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
It's all a distraction. It's all a distraction.
In your head.
It's all no, I just mean all this bullshit around that stuff is all a distraction away from
everything.
We don't have medical. We don't have healthcare benefits. We don't, right? All the things that we don't have. We can't pay our teachers. Nobody's getting a good education. Education at higher level and even lower is all overblown. Nobody's getting a good education. We're not paying our teachers. It's just bullshit. And it comes down to like how much are you willing to put up with, you know, with politics and being distracted by this shit. I mean, when people vote constantly against their own interests, at some point they're going to have to realize I can't pay my bills and, you know, I don't have health benefits and I'm in, you know, the shitter because I have medical bills and, you know, my daughter needs an IUD or an abortion or, you know, a medically necessary abortion even. It's just abortion, you know, it's abortion care. It doesn't really mean anything that the right wing, and I say that because that's what it is. The right wing tells you it is. That's bullshit.
Yes.
It's an agenda that is way beyond what you and I know, and it's deep, and I'm not even going down that rabbit hole because it's deep on both ends.
Let's not. It's too much.
We will be there for the whole
podcast.
Well, it's a distraction from we could do a lot about this. We're a rich country and people are just acting against their own interests, which is bullshit. Anyway.
For sure.
Well, how are you feeling now?
I can get up and down easier.
Well, that's important. Functional movement.
Bonus. Yeah. I do think I messed my shoulder a little bit, which I was thinking I didn't mess my shoulder up because yesterday it wasn't hurting, but last night it was throbbing. But hopefully it's not messed up where it's a permanent thing.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's just a pulled muscle and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see.
Okay. Well, and we've got some things that are happening. Should we I don't think we need to blow the whole load here and say exactly what's happening, but I think we should talk a little bit about like a couple things that are going on. So we have, let's say that we've got some really, really good, interesting perspective, things happening with the book. We have a couple really we'll say higher profile podcast collaborations that we're working on that are going to be going down this week, which we will give you more details soon, as soon as we're allowed to,
after we're allowed,
to release those out. So that's some exciting stuff for the pod.
Mm-hmm.
And then what else is going on, like news wise? We still haven't figured out the music quite yet, but it is in the works.
Yeah, my kids say that you should just leave it because
it's so bad it's good.
That's what they say. Like, don't change it, it's perfect.
It's hilarious. It's not even hilarious. It should be embarrassing, but I don't have that gene, so it's not embarrassing to me, but it's so bad it might be good.
So bad.
Yeah,
amazing.
And what's our sort of topics for this week?
I don't know.
So I don't know.
Do
you know?
I don't know.
So
that is the topic. I don't know. What does it mean?
I don't know. The topic came though from, it's kind of a previous episode. We covered this a little bit when we talked about.
We just talked about it. It wasn't like the whole thing, but like,
well, it kind of had to do with like kids and being women and mothers. Yeah. That's where it kind of developed out of. And then we're noticing a more clear pathway or pattern that keeps occurring, and particularly in like our generation and anyone below us, that we keep noticing happens more often than we think, and is also kind of paralyzing in terms of life progression and moving forward and doing things and making things happen and how that happens. And when we covered it in the prior podcast, which was mothers, or being a mother and having kids and women, and that was the podcast, right? It was about, I think it was women.
I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100%. We've done a few since.
And then it was basically kind of the idea that our kids have a fear of failure in terms of making decisions or life choices or day-to-day life, executive function, where they were just kind of in limbo and scared to fail, so they weren't making choices, which is a choice. And so when we were talking about that on a prior conversation you and I had over a phone call, we were like, that's the topic. We should discuss it in terms of like, what does that mean for them? And what does it mean for people who just don't know? And then what is the social ramifications? And I think that that's where this for me, when I kind of thought about it a little bit, what is the first part of culture? Cult. And then our culture tells young people that if they fail, our culture, meaning social media inputs, television, film, right, all of the indicators to them tell them that if they fail, they are wrong, and that they have like made the wrong choice if they fail. And
somebody the other day put a
toxic
thing on.
It's toxic.
Yeah, someone put a meme on social the other day, and it said, and is this from this young girl, and I don't really know her, but she said, if you're over 40, give me one piece of advice to younger people. And I said, don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But I think that every young person is afraid to make mistakes. People our age are afraid to make mistakes. People are afraid to jump in and do something because they might fail. They don't know what the outcome will be. They're like, I don't know what's going to happen. Well, who cares?
Okay. So, and
there are sometimes you need to care, but not always.
You do. Not always.
Yeah.
I live in Southern California. So everyone I see on social media, or like even within my friend group too, right? All they post on social media, or all they're talking about is like, they're prepping for a marathon. They're doing this giant bike ride. They're going on this massive hike. They're doing this massive monumental, like life-altering experience that's just like so empowering and makes them feel amazing and blah, blah, fucking blah. And I'm so sick of it. I'm like, I want to see when you're in bed because your fucking muscles are ripped and sore and swollen and you can't get your ass out of bed to go to work because you're so tired and, you know, your body is just wrecked from all this training you've been doing. But of course, do they post those? No. Same thing. I
Right.
did for
It's not
January.
reality. Social
No,
media
for
is not reality.
January, I did a 100 push-ups a day challenge, right? For a fundraiser for St. Jude's Hospital, help the kids, blah, blah, fucking blah. I'm like, I could do 100 push-ups a day. It's not that big of a deal. Well, and I unsubscribed immediately to the post on that Facebook page because they have this Facebook page. So everybody, guess what they're doing? They're not, I mean, there was a couple posts where like, can you guys just give me some tips about how to get through it? How do I do it the first couple days? And I was like, that's great. That's helpful. It's positive, you know, but at the same time, I'm like, well, if you signed up for a fucking 100 push-ups a day challenge, you should kind of figure that shit out on your own and know that you're in for something. Great if you get some feedback from other people. It's not an expert, but hey, you know, use whatever works for you. And I support that. But you know what I end up seeing is some guy doing a one-arm push-up with his arm extended overhead. And I'm like, how the fuck does that help anyone? I'm sorry. All you're doing is bragging about you doing a one-arm fucking push-up when the whole entire contest was just for 100. Nobody said any rules about how it was supposed to be done. But all of a sudden we got Bragger McBragger face up there trying to show he's doing above and beyond whatever the fuck ever. And so then everybody puts their fucking standards at that level. And it's like, that's not attainable for everyone. So who the fuck cares? Not. Go off into your delusional atmosphere and go talk to someone who's getting ready for a fucking, you know, three-part marathon. Fuck you. It doesn't make sense in reality. And that's the hard part is we don't have any propaganda training in our schools. Kids don't know that that's all bullshit. They just get handed to them, you know, at 5 years old and they think that that's normal. It's not fucking normal. Normal is you have down days. You have days when you fall flat on your face and fall into the chain link fence and you hurt. And that is reality.
That's the reality. It's my reality anyway. But yes, like it is, everybody posts only the good things.
Yeah, and it's bullshit.
Yeah, it is bullshit because people are not doing that good. I mean,
no.
Oh my gosh, I barely post on social media, to be quite honest, because, you know, it's like, first of all, when I post something positive, I feel like, am I trying to impress somebody?
I know.
You know, if it's something good, I'm like, I'm not trying to brag or, you know, talk about something.
No.
And I've posted stuff like that before, and I look back and the memories come up, and I'm like, oh my God, that was so, like, dick. Like when I get a new car or something and you're like, look at my new car. Well, who fucking cares? Not everybody can get a new car. So like,
not everybody can get a new car. Not everybody can afford a new car. It's just a thing. It's not your life.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter in the whole big scheme of things. It matters if you were nice to people, if you're humble, if you're kind, all the other things that actually fucking matter in this whole screwed up universe.
Yeah.
But our culture puts so much pressure on these kids. And I say these kids, meaning anyone younger than 44. I'm 44. My doctor asked me that the other day. She was like, and she was young. I went to the allergy doc yesterday and she was like, how old are you? And I was like, 40. Liz just turned 45. I'm 44. I'm 44. I was like, at a certain age, you just don't fucking care, nor do you keep track anymore.
It's so bizarre.
All the fucks that I had to give, they're gone. So I don't even remember actually.
I know. I remember. Do you remember though? And my kids have done this to me, but I did it to Mom, and I'm like, ask her how old she is, and she's like, hang on, let me think about it. I'm literally doing that.
And you're like,
wait a minute, how old am I?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a mystery.
I know. I don't know.
I was born in
I'm like 1977, 78. counting, you know, it's crazy.
It just doesn't really matter. And I think that's another thing too. Like, I do think like the younger generation is kind of cool. Like, I really respect them a lot for like their They are kinder. I think they're kinder
Yes,
because
I
the
believe that
world,
100%.
because I think the world's been a lot harder for them, and they understand that. They empathically get it. That
Well,
you
it's
do
also
need.
harder because of social media.
Yes. But
Mhm.
I think I do have a lot of hope, and I do really respect them. And I think, oh my God, it's so much harder for you than it was for us. Because we
Mhm.
didn't have any of that. We didn't have television. We didn't have any of that shit to deal with.
Mhm.
I mean, we had a lot of shit of people telling us we were less than, or we were not as good.
Mhm.
And that
For
was
sure.
horribly traumatizing for us.
Mhm.
But we didn't have it pushed in our face every single day from comparing ourselves to other people. And you and I did. That's a lie. You and I did. But it wasn't mass media. It
Yes.
wasn't our heroes. It wasn't our, it wasn't our, teachers, our peers. It wasn't, it was coming from a very specific line of authority, which
Yeah.
we knew about it, and it was coming constantly. But we didn't know.
Right.
We didn't know. So the theme is I don't know. And what does that mean? So what does that mean, Liz? What does it mean when we say I don't know?
It
Like,
means
what are we talking about?
Yeah, you're talking about you're unsure. You do not have the answer. You know. I think that people would probably be better to say I don't know rather than to feed
Absolutely.
the bullshit sometimes. Just
So
say I don't know.
yes, and I think that there's power in that. So I have two examples. One's really quick, the other one's a little bit longer. One example of I don't know is when I went back to school, and I went back to school late in life. But I knew exactly what I wanted to do. But one of my favorite professors, she was a favorite at the time, but one of the reasons why she was a favorite is that she recognized that I worked really hard. And the second thing was that she said, when you would ask a question, she would say, or no, in the very beginning of the course, she said, I will try and get you the best information I have available. If I don't have the information, then I will tell you I don't know, and I will try and direct you to the right person that needs to get you that information.
Nice.
And immediately I had more respect for her.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately. Because
Yeah.
it told me she was going to do her best, but she also was aware that she didn't have all the facts.
Answers. Yeah.
And that if she didn't, then she would do her best to help me out with that. And that
Yeah.
is what a teacher is supposed to do. So that was
Yes.
my first example of that.
Yeah.
The second is I was listening to a podcast. I did my best to look it up, and I could not remember which one it was. But it was one of my podcasts that I listen to on a regular basis. And it was talking about the medical field and how over the past like 40, 50 years, especially like 50 years ago. So 50 years ago, 1970s, right? Doctors were trained to never admit mistakes.
No, I believe that.
Okay, so they were told.
I believe that's still probably true.
It is. 6% of hospitals now have taken on the framework that if you make a mistake, you admit it, you tell them what happened, and you help them out through that, and you assist them. So you offer them trauma support, trauma counseling, medical opportunities, or things to fix the problem medically. You offer them compensation, you work with them through the problem, and you admit the mistake. 6% of hospitals.
I was going to say, did you say 60? Because I'm pretty sure that's wrong.
6.
Okay.
6% of hospitals in the United States have taken on this model. The other 94%, the other 94% are still operating, and this is a part of the problem with our medical expenses and why it's so expensive here, have decided that that is not feasible and that would cost them too much money. Meanwhile, what they are stuck with is deny. We didn't make a mistake, and then it goes through litigation. Their malpractice insurance goes through the roof, and then people have to settle out of court. The people who were victimized do not get to talk about it, because 9 times out of 10 of those 94% of the hospitals that go into this settlement they have to sign an NDA where they can't tell you what happened. Yes. So that's why there's no accountability. The doctors don't have to admit their mistakes. Our insurance prices go through the roof. Because their malpractice insurance goes through the roof, and nobody ever figures out what the root of the problem is.
Right.
And this was based on a podcast where it was talking about companies, big major companies that allow people to make mistakes and then let their employees learn from these mistakes.
Mm.
And it was like the more mistakes people made, the more quickly their companies learned how to be better. And that is just a simple fact. I tell my students all the time in classes, please fail. Be afraid to fail. I put up a safety net for you. If you screw entirely up on assignment, it's not going to affect your grade that much. Be afraid to fail. Screw it up. Like completely fall flat on your face.
Don't be afraid to fail.
Yes. Fall flat on your face and make it a big, huge fucking mistake because this is a low risk environment. Your grade is not going to be that much impacted. Just do it.
Right.
And that's how you learn.
Mm-hmm. That is how you learn.
Those were my two examples of that. Like in the real world, right? In the real world, but we're not given that opportunity, I don't think, a lot.
No, and people are so quick to judge you too if you fail. I know myself, so I've like done things many times. I've joined, like MLM companies and sold the shit out of stuff, done things like that. But I feel like most people, if somebody does that, I'm like, good for you, go for it. You know what I mean? Let them do their thing, like whatever. It's great. I have done like, I don't know, 7 or 8 different ones. Tried them out. Love some of them still use their stuff. Some of them I'm just not active, but people judge that so harshly and they're just like literally sitting there waiting for you to fail. So when you fail, they'll be like, I told you so. You know what I mean? And why do you have to do that? Because there's absolutely no reason. But I have always go into things with like, yes, I may fail. I may not do it. I may do really well. I mean, one of the companies I did really well and made quite a bit of money, won trips, won all kinds of things. And I just decided it wasn't for me to do anymore. It's just too much because I take on a lot. But I could have probably been extremely successful with that. I just lost my passion for it. So I had to switch to something else. But I have failed so many times at things. Many, many times. But I don't think I go into something. I'm always like, I always have this like positive, like, this is going to be the best thing ever. You know what I mean? Because I guess I'm not afraid to fall flat on my face, but I feel like most people are. Yeah. I've fallen flat on my face many times. So,
well, you're talking about, you actually got to it, which is the root of it. Yeah. Like when you don't know. Right? When you don't know, and that's what I think. It's almost not a fear of failing. It's a fear of being judged for failing.
Yeah, I think that 100% is it.
It's not that they're afraid to fail. They're not given the opportunity to do it without judgment.
Yes, for sure.
From their peers, from their parents, from their social networks, from, society at large, the culture. And that's probably the root of it more than just failing. Like, if you're going to fail, just do it spectacularly and then fucking own it. And then, I mean, that's my philosophy. Yeah. And I've done it many times too. Yeah. Absolutely. And then I'm like, well, I did that. Yes, I did. Yeah, absolutely. You're going to judge me? Great. You're not my friend anymore. Go the fuck to hell. Because that's a great way to like get rid of your friends list. Quite honestly, right. If they sit there and they are on their fucking high horse and they're like, yeah, you screwed up. And guess what? Fuck you. And you're an asshole. And I can't believe you did that. And right. Blah, blah, fucking blah. That's great. You go straight to the bottom of the list in terms of my friends. No problem there. That's a great way to weed them out. You know, the ones that come to you and say, I'm so sorry that happened. How can I help? Those are the ones you keep around. Yeah. I'm really sorry you went through that. That sounds awful. Is there anything I can do to make it better? How can I support you as a friend in this scenario? And that goes, it's so stupid, Liz. It's so stupid, but it goes back to the fucking like button on Facebook and X.
Oh
and
my God.
whatever.
Oh my God. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. It goes right back to that because we go to the positive. We're like, oh yeah, I got like 100 likes.
Yes.
Who fucking cares? When you fall flat on your face and you go do something stupid, you know, and maybe potentially screw up your life a little bit, how many fucking likes do you get on that?
Yeah.
Well, then when you get a like there, you should be like, yep, that's my friend.
Yep. Well, Randy and I talked about that the other day because we were talking about with the social media and the fear of failure and all these things that like kids, same scenario. I mean, younger people, rely on, there can be, you can post, you know, they'll post a photo of themselves feeling fabulous. You know, they're like, oh my God, I'm feeling myself right now. I'm posting a picture. And there'll be like 400 people that are like, you look amazing. You're stunning, blah, blah, blah. And there's 2 people. And one of them's like, you're fat. I hate those shoes. You know, those are the comments that they focus on. And that is literally human nature. I think most people do that. But you forget all the amazing comments. The other thing that I know is that people get so offended when they don't get enough likes or loves or whatever on their posts. They get offended. Maybe someone didn't even see it in their feed, but like they're instantly like, oh, so and so didn't like my post, or so and so didn't do this, or you know,
right.
And it has no reflection on you.
No.
But that is their
perception.
Well, perception,
of their self-worth.
but that is their what they are taking as how good they are or how important they are, is likes and things like that. And that has nothing to do with it. And some people are just assholes, you know? So
yeah, but that's taking out like the human face-to-face element. And of course, COVID screwed us up a lot with that because we really only had like, okay, whatever's out there online, you know, we can, you know, sort of connect to.
Sure.
But it really takes out that element of judging your body language and your facial expression and understanding, well, that person who didn't like your post, you know, had a really shitty day and they fell on the concrete and almost hit their head into a chain link fence and their dog died. And, you know, it takes out. So then they're judging their friend for not liking their post, which is without having that interaction face to face, a human element of going, I'm really sorry I missed your post. I didn't see it. I fell down. I broke my hip. My dog died.
The thing, there's nobody's intentionally being vindictive or hateful or anything like that. I mean, obviously there's horrible people in the world, but generally,
well, it's taking liking to a whole nother level.
Purpose.
Where they're instantly judging based on a non-action, a non-action. And then also instantly judging that your character is above and beyond based on an action of clicking a like, you know, check or a heart or whatever. And the actions that we need to really pay attention to, which I think is where kids are missing out on failing, is that the actions that happen after you fail are the ones you should pay attention to from your friends. So if you do get into a hard spot, then you should be like listening to what are they doing? How are they supporting me after I fail? But there's such a high bar for you can fail that they don't even get the opportunity to do that. And that brings up so much pressure and stress about failing in the first place. Where it's like, okay, well, then you're not even giving yourself the opportunity to fail and see who really does care about you.
For sure.
I don't know.
For sure.
How do they combat that? Fail frequently.
I don't know.
Fail frequently. Fail honestly.
No, but just be okay with it. Like, give yourself some grace to like.
Well, that's not helpful though. Because you can't just be okay. You can't be okay with it if you feel all that stress and that pressure. right?
Well,
So
I
what is
understand that.
helpful for them for anyone to hear in terms of failing? But what if you started slowly? Like fail, I think there's small fails and there's big fails, you know.
Well, there is. You know, if
So
you spent $5 investing in something and it didn't work out, that's a big fail. If you go spend 100 grand for, you know, or 10 grand for most people, that's a bigger one. In just that's in general with just like investment and putting like a cash option on it. But say you decide to jump into some kind of a charity, you know, and
invest.
yeah, invest your time or something like that. And you go in there and it is something that is definitely not for you, and you know, it just like doesn't work out. It's okay to step back and say, well, maybe this isn't for me. Let me do something else. I'm just trying to think of things that are I mean, there's so many things you can mail. I mean, people are scared to make a decision of like, this is the, for instance, I had a client that had 4 weeks off. And he was going to overseas for he had a trip for it was one of those not exchange, learning overseas. What is that called? Study abroad. Okay. So he had a study abroad trip. Well, he had 2 of them in the span of 6 weeks. So it's a 4-week thing. There was 2 weeks in between. And instead of, because he couldn't decide where would be the best place to go in between those 2 weeks, he just came all the way back and then went back for another 2 weeks because he was afraid he would pick the wrong place or the wrong thing. And I was just like, I think at that point, there's not a wrong place. Like, just enjoy it, you know? So I just think like every little decision is so challenging and it's so hard to make sometimes. But I don't think that you should be so scared, even if you don't know the outcome, because most of the time you're not going to know the outcome.
Right.
I don't think there's many things in life that are 100% sure.
Absolutely not, because you don't know if you're going to walk out your house and get hit by a bus.
No.
So, there's a balance though, and I think you're getting at something that's really important in terms of this topic. Is that okay? Another, for instance, let's use a hypothetical.
Okay.
I was talking about taking a weekend trip. Okay, so when I have vacation, I always have a little bit of a list of things. Like, how much time do I have? Right? How much money do I have? I don't get paid time off like you. So how much can I afford to lose, right? In terms of income, and without
like
paid time off, all the European and other socialist governments right now are squirming because they're like, how the fuck do you not get, you know, required? They require it. They require that you take a month off a year, you know. Anyway, so you have to balance out that. Then you also have to balance out, like, for instance, if I wanted to go to Vietnam, it's a 24-hour pretty much travel time, no matter what. I mean, even if you got like really good direct flights, it's going to be 24 hours there, 24 hours back. That's 2 days off already. So I could not take a weekend trip to Vietnam.
Right.
I would be there, grab a bowl of some soup, and then come back. So the time invested, the energy, right, and the money wouldn't justify that travel unless I really had a desire to be at 10,000 feet for 48 hours, right?
And you really wanted just one bowl of soup.
Strong desire for both would be the only 2 things that would justify that trip, right? So And I think that there's like a reasoning thing that is missing here. So like your client, for instance, had a reasoning issue. He couldn't reason that one place would be better than the other.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't figure out like if he would be screwed if he went somewhere, not realizing that, well, the time and effort it takes you to get all the way back and then go all the way there is precluding you from any other experience you might get to have that would be beneficial to you based on his fear of being judged for making the wrong choice. Whereas, you know, if it's a weekend trip, you know, from here and I want to go to Mexico and get a taco, which I did 2.5 weeks ago, it's 30-minute drive to the border. You walk over, you go get tacos, relatively easy, cheap, inexpensive, great tacos, well worth a 30-minute drive. You get the tacos, you hang out, you walk around, you maybe pick up some illegal Cuban cigars, you know. I mean, this is all, you know, right? There's no downside here because it's just a weekend trip. It's just a day. You know, I can go to a couple breweries, you know, check out and see what they have, maybe get another taco or a churro, and then come back with relatively little time lost, very little money lost, right? Little effort lost because it's only 30 minutes away, right? So there's a time, there's a reasoning, right? There's a reasoning behind that, which is like the way your brain works.
Yes.
So if your brain doesn't work that way to reason, fear aside, like put the fear aside. Everyone I know, I tell them I go to Mexico and they're like, what are you doing going to Mexico? Oh my God, that's so safe. Yeah, what are you doing? The cartels are going to kidnap you. You're blonde and blue-eyed. What the fuck? And I'm like, literally, it's safer than walking down the streets of Oakland, California. It is safer than that. And I don't know what your problem is. So take the fear out of it, fear of being judged, fear of failing, and then look at those things. Where's my time at? What is valuable to me? Is it valuable to me to go experience tacos in another country 30 minutes away and get some different beers that I would never have the opportunity to experience? So then they're prizing their fear over their values.
Yeah, that is 100% it, is you have to set the fear aside.
Yeah, and again, is it the fear of failing or is it the fear of being judged for failing? And those
fear of I don't know too. You know, it's the fear of all of those things. Being judged, failing, you know, you're unsure of what's gonna happen. All of those.
And to be quite honest, this generation, like roommate 1 through 4, they at this time in their life, all of them, because they're all between 20 and 30. This should be the most experimental, like fearless times of their life because they're young, they're healthy, they'll bounce back if they, you know, fall down and hit their head in a chain link fence, you know. They are.
Can we quit referencing?
It's funny. They are. You've been klutzy as far as I know, your whole life.
Yes,
like,
for my entire life. Correct.
I've been, and so am I. Just in weirder spots, like my hands and shit, my feet. But you've been, or they should be at the time in their life right now where they are fearless, not a fucking, like they should feel invincible. This is the time.
Yeah, but they don't.
Roommate 4 did once. And remember that? Her first year at school. And she rented the quad, the 4x4. And then took it under the dunes and rolled it with her.
I don't remember this.
Oh, her first year at school, she went with her boyfriend and another girlfriend, and they rented a 4x4 and went out to the desert and rolled it.
Oh, yeah.
Had an accident.
Oh, yeah. I remember you telling me about
And then she called me, but you know what the first thing she said to me was?
I had an accident on a four-wheeler.
No.
Oh, Mom, don't freak out.
Mom, don't be mad. Why? Why would you say that? Right? Because she was afraid that I was going to be angry and judge her for doing this thing that was absolutely appropriate for her age. Like,
yeah, but you were freaking out a bit.
no, I didn't freak out. I
Yes,
said
you did.
it. No, I didn't. Not on that phone call.
Okay,
I mean,
not on the phone
you,
call. Okay.
To you, absolutely. I was like, oh my fucking God, I'm not there. And I don't know if she's okay. And right? No, on that phone call, I said, is everyone okay?
Right.
Great. Okay. If everyone is alive and upright and walking, go to the nearest hospital, you know, get everyone checked out. Right. I was very calm, very collected, just like, okay, that happened. Great. And I said, you know, whose insurance was on the signature, you know, after they went to the hospital. I was like, I don't want to hear from you until you get everyone in that car to the hospital. Go get them checked out. Let's make sure everybody's okay first, and then we'll talk about what happened. And then, then I freaked out a little bit because I was like, wait, you didn't sign your name on the friggin', you know, insurance waiver. I was like, you're not that dumb. But, you know, had she done that, we would have dealt with it, right?
Yeah,
no, that was well after, you know.
Yeah.
The thing. So anyway,
I think and I think more so teenage years, you have a little bit less, I guess it's
anxiety
and inhibitions for like doing crazy stuff. But I think that
I've never lost that, but okay.
I know, but I think that a lot of people do lose that. Unless they're intoxicated or, you know.
Yeah, I can confirm.
Yeah.
and I would say I can do it. Well, no intoxication's necessary. But I do think that that's part of like, because we grew up that way and so afraid of not
getting in trouble for everything.
We got in trouble for everything.
Yeah.
You were more afraid of it than I was.
Yeah.
And you did carry that with you a lot longer than I did, and I think you still do. I never carried that with me and was just like, fuck
fear
it.
Of consequences. Sure.
Fear of consequences. And I never carried that with me. Well, okay, I think I probably had a line, you know, at some level I had a line. I don't know where it was. I never found it. But what?
Still haven't.
I still haven't. But it's that if you close your mind and you feel, I think of it as being inside a little box. Temple Grandin was autistic, and she developed a system for slaughterhouses in which the cows would go through a circle of walled enclosures, in which at the end of the walled enclosure, they would be squeezed tightly, and then they would go into the slaughterhouse and be butchered. What she showed was that lowered their stress hormone, right? So that as they got closer to being slaughtered, the stress hormone would be less in their body. And then as the meat was butchered, then the stress hormone was lower. It would cause less tension in the muscles, and so the meat was better. The reason she figured that out was because she was autistic, and she had massive anxiety about being around people and being in public places and or being touched. So when she got anxiety, she made an enclosure for herself. And it was like it was like a gravity blanket today. Like people use gravity blankets for anti-anxiety and for sleep and stuff, right? And it would basically just push her into this little like pressure zone that pulled the pressure inside their bodies, right? Same thing with the cows going in that like circular pathway. And what kids don't realize, and I think this goes to the how to, is that the pressure that you're feeling from outside has nothing to do with the inside. And that's like where we need to focus on, is like, how does it make you feel when you let the outside forces contract you and make you smaller? Fear.
It makes them feel horrible, which is why they're afraid to do anything.
Fear is what that is.
Yes.
So the fear from outside sources is making you feel smaller, and they need to like start focusing on, okay, I know that that's what happens, but what makes me feel better on the inside? And it's just so hard for them to like figure that out right now. So that idea of the stress hormone going up higher based on outside sources versus inside sources, right, is to like go internal, like go inside and figure out what is it that, why do you need the likes?
Right.
Why do you need
it is. It's like a confirmation.
Why do you need that? Why do you need that? So if you can't figure out the why do you need it, then it's absolutely fucking useless for you to be putting any, value on that.
Any value on it. I agree with that 100%, but I do know that it is definitely
it's toxic. It's toxic.
Yes, it's a definite yes.
It's toxic, and it doesn't matter in the whole big scheme of things. We live, we die, we reproduce, maybe. Yeah,
but how do you explain that it doesn't matter to somebody that it does matter to?
Well, because they were putting all their eggs in the wrong basket. And it's like, you know what? Fail furiously, fail frenetically, fail fabulously. We can think of all the F's alliterations that we could do with that, but fail fabulously. Then take a look back and see who stuck around, who supported you. Those are your real likes. Those are the thumbs up. Those are the hearts, right? So all of that matters when you do fail and you actually have someone to come down and help you out. So that's all important. Hang on one second.
Okay.
Hey, doing a podcast. It's all good. Yeah, good.
Got mail at the door or something. Okay. Package.
Yeah. Got a package.
Got a package.
Yeah. Anyway, fail fabulously, fail furiously, fail all the time, and then keep track of your likes. I mean, that's my advice going forward. Like, just be yourself, be fearless, be unafraid to fail. Don't be
afraid of not knowing how to handle a situation or how something's going to turn out, or don't be afraid of doing something if you don't know how it will turn out.
And we speak from, I'm going to put this out there because it's true. We speak from a place where, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know. Unfortunately, there's some kids out there. I don't know why I'm on the foster kid thing right now, but like there's some foster kids that don't have a strong family unit. And if they do fail, that is really potentially dangerous. And and they actually run into some things. But I'm going to say, speaking for probably 90% of, kids, young adults in the US, you probably do have a somewhat social net. You probably have either a mom, either a dad, either a stepdad, either a stepmom, a sibling, an aunt, a cousin, right? Who they are your safety net. They are going to reach out and they are going to help you. You might even have a chosen family, for like a foster kid, right? That has some people.
What are you doing?
I have gum stuck on my shirt.
You're like picking.
Well, I've been trying to put
and I can't see what you're doing, and I'm like,
I've been trying to put a piece of gum on it and pick it off for like the last 5 minutes now, and it won't come off. It's synthetic fabric. Fuck synthetic fabrics. Anyway, but that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about like foster kids and people who don't have as much of a social net as we do. Like, our family is fucked up. Every family is fucked up. Okay. But we do. I know if I failed phenomenally and did something so dumb, still there, so dumb that, I could, potentially move in with you for a couple months and regain my life back, and you know what I mean, like
Sure.
like start again.
Yeah.
Same for you. I'm like, yeah, move in here. We're sleeping on a full bed. You're in the hammock. But right? I mean, like,
Yes.
but I know I got your back. You got mine. I know mom would be the same way, and that there's other family too, right? That we could reach out to and that would be there for us. And then I think, well, is it our fault? But sorry, back to my original thought. There are some people that they don't have that. And
Sure.
I recognize that, and I am, making that clear. But then when we get deep into the thick of it, have I failed, our kids, roommate 1 through 4, in thinking or allowing them to think that we won't have that social net? And I don't think that that's the case, but I don't think it's that they value it as much. They don't understand that if they really fucking needed it, if one of them did something horrifying and screwed up their life big time, that we would still have their back. Like,
yes.
And that's the value of the like. I'm not liking you.
Right.
You're my family. You have this intrinsic thing that's right here inside you. It came from you. You came out of your mom's vagina. And it is a piece of who you are. And that is more important than the fucking heart or the like.
Yeah.
Even though those are integral into our society. But there is a lot more value in knowing, yeah, I can fail. I can screw up big time. And if this goes right or left or down or up, I still have someone who's got my back and is going to support me. So the I don't know can be good. If you have your values in the right place.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's so many things I don't know,
I don't know.
Every day. So many things. But
I do think I don't know is a
don't
powerful
be afraid
thing.
to admit you don't know something.
I think it's a powerful thing, though. I do think it's a powerful thing. That medical example I gave you earlier is that, and oh my God, it was so, it turned out well, but basically the doctor, and this was one of the 6% of the hospitals that did this and started
admitted
doing
they
this.
were wrong.
Yeah. So what happened was, a little kid came in and he had a procedure done, and basically the anesthesiologist gave him too much anesthesia. So what it did was temporarily put him in a coma state. The procedure went well, everything was fine, and eventually the kid did come out, and he was normal and everything. But at the moment, of course, you're a parent, you're going, scared to death. What the fuck, right? So the dad, his initial reaction was like, how could you, and he just went all aggro with, the doctor who came out and told them that that's what happened. Here's what happened. This was a mistake. We know it. We're working on it, and then they took them back to see the kid. Well, the nurse who, and actually it wasn't an anesthesiologist. The doctor didn't tell the nurse what dose to give the kid.
Okay.
And so the nurse just went and did her thing because the doctor didn't say. And so it was the doctor's fault because he didn't say. The nurse just did her best and kept going. So it put this kid in this coma, and it was kind of a horrible situation. It turned out okay. Everybody was fine, but the kid was, out of it for a while.
Yeah.
The dad went off on the doctor, lost his shit, and was just an agromaniac. The mom, when they finally let her, she didn't say anything. She went back to the room where the kid was, and the same nurse who administered that heavier dose of anesthesia to the kid for the procedure was in the room. And she started to say, I can't be here. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I made a mistake. It was my fault. And the mom just went over to the nurse and just gave her a hug and said, no, you're the perfect person. You stay in this room and you take care of my kid. Because she knew that nurse was probably
Gonna
going to
do
be
everything she
the
could.
best person in that hospital to make
For
sure
sure.
that her kid
Mhm.
was going to be okay. And
Yeah.
that is exactly what we need more of.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. And it's like heart-wrenching to hear that as a mom, to go, oh my God, if that were my kid. But that's the exact appropriate response that we
Right.
need to do, is go, yeah, you made a mistake, but guess what? You know, life isn't over. Like, we learn from this. This is how we do it. And even I can't imagine, like, from the nurse's perspective, what she felt. But do you know how much she learned from that? How much she became a better empathetic person, a nurse, a more critical thinker, a more detail-oriented person because of that whole entire situation. How could you not? You screwed up. Yeah. But then to have that, it's fine, take care of my kid, that happened to you, is like, that's where we need to be with, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know I screwed up. I went ahead and did it anyway because it was what was necessary at the time. Yeah, we only go off of our decisions based on what limited information we have in this lifetime, and we don't have a lot. So we don't know a lot of the times, but you just fucking forge forward, and then you have to know that, hey, there's some people behind you that got your back. And every footfall that falls short, you've got someone there to help you out.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
that like, not everybody has that, but
yeah, no, and
most people do.
that's why I made it a point to, like, say it's not everyone, but there's a lot of people out there that fall into that category.
I would say the majority, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
Do we know? We don't know for sure. I don't either. Anyway, okay. Well,
all I know
wrap this up,
is that I don't know,
because I don't know what I'm doing next, but it's something.
I don't know either. All right. Well, let's wrap it up. Where can people find us?
We have Facebook and Instagram. Facebook, sisters.declassified, Instagram, sisters_declassified. We're not super active on it, but you're welcome to send us a message through there. We try and upload our sound bites to that weekly, but feel free to send us a DM
on everywhere you get your podcast.
And then podcasts or Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts.
All the things.
And then our email is sistersdeclassified@gmail.com. Send us questions, responses, and we will give you our best answer.
Yep. And if we don't know, we don't know.
We may not know, but we will do our best.
Okay.
All right. See you later. Bye.
In 1998, I was the whistleblower in a massive pedophilia case involving the Independent Fundamental Baptist Church, Cornerstone Baptist Church in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I was the lead key witness in a case that took down an entire network of child abusers. Charles D. Miller was sent to prison, and this was prior to the statute of limitations law being lifted in Colorado. In fact, shortly thereafter, it was lifted, and he would have gotten life in prison. My sister and I wrote a book about what it was like growing up in the cult. We're looking for publishers. We are going to self-publish, but we need your help. If you know of anyone, hit us up. Contact info is in the show notes. Thank you kindly.